Paul, the unbeaten run comes to an end after a 2-1 loss today at Hanwell. What's the thoughts about that one?
Yeah, very disappointed. We were really poor today. We were way off the standards that we set ourselves throughout the game. Started with quite a strong wind, which was against us, and we didn't play very well. They put a little bit of pressure on early in the game, corners. We struggled to get any territory and good possession higher up the pitch. We got in off a few longer balls, but that's not really our game. And we were just way off it. In credit to Hanwell, I think they deserved the victory today. It was a scrappy game, and they've come out on top, deservedly so. A couple of big moments. The penalty is outside. The contact's outside the box, but. If the game comes down to a refereeing decision, then you haven't done enough in the game anyway, as my perspective. So, no complaints. They were the better team, and what we've got to do is regroup. Perhaps we got a little bit ahead of ourselves. Perhaps the run that we've had has allowed us to lose that little bit of an edge a little bit too soon. It shouldn't, but today did have a bit of a feel like the good weather, the hard pitch, the bobby pitch. It had a feel like an end of season game, which you can't have. There's still a lot to play for. Nothing's achieved, and maybe a little reset now this week is just what we need. But today was nowhere near what the boys have produced for months and months and months.
And obviously we knew coming into today that it'd be a difficult visit to Hanwell, with them having a very good record against the top sort of 4 and 5 in the league. But do you think it was just a case that they suited the game more than ourselves, with us not being able to pass it and move it as quickly and freely as we normally do?
Yeah, but that's our responsibility, isn't it? Yeah, they've got an excellent home record. I don't think they've lost to any of the teams at the top, and that was a challenge for us today, to come here and to prove that we were better than the others, and we haven't been able to do that. So look, the league table doesn't lie. At this time of the season, we've been going really, really well. When we've fallen off our standards, generally it's meant a draw or a couple of draws on the spin at times, and the standards that the boys have had all season have been outstanding. Today was a little bit lower than what we're used to, even in some of those other games, and so we've got to go and hit this week Tuesday, and use it to give us a little wake-up call and come in and really go at the week and head into Poole with some real positivity.
And obviously 4 games to go now, 2 at home, 2 away, still in a good position, and a position that you must be happy with.
Yeah, look, you've got to try and take the emotion of today out, and we couldn't go in there and absolutely kill the boys. There are things we've spoke to individuals about, and we'll do that more this week, reviewing the game, because we're never going to accept that that kind of performance. I think the boys don't accept that from themselves. They know that we can produce far better than that. But it's about having a calm and cool head, because these players have been outstanding for us all season. The unbeaten run they've been on has been immense, and so it's just a case of bringing the positivity this week, making sure nobody feels the pressure, which we haven't for the last month or so, when it's probably the most stressful time of the season. Boys have been calm, cool, played with real quality, and that's what we'll look to do next week.
And obviously home now next Saturday to Poole, and we'll have a bit more of an idea of the sort of chasing pack, or especially after Tottenham's game on Tuesday evening. What's the thoughts towards that?
Yeah, the game in hand plays out, doesn't it, on Tuesday, expecting to win. We look at that as like it's a 5-point lead going into the last 4 games of the season. So it's a 4-game shootout with a 5-point lead. If you'd have offered us that at the start of the season, we'd have obviously taken it. So look, we'll reflect on today, we'll do it properly, but we'll be positive that we're looking to just almost wash that one off in a way. We will look at the detail, but psychologically we just need to say it was a bad day at the office, we weren't up to it, and not dwell on it and move on.
And finally, obviously another good travelling support from the Martyrs for probably our longest trip of the season today. What's the sort of message to them ahead of next Saturday's home game?
Yeah, just really disappointed that we couldn't put on a show from today. We didn't really give them anything to shout about from minute one, but they were still there and still backing us, and we could hear them, and they were still being positive even when we were 2-0 down and a really little bit flat, to be honest. I think that was the biggest criticism from me in the change rooms then, was that halfway through the half, I didn't see the urgency or intensity to get back into the game. I understand that when players are not having a really, not feeling on top of their game, that doesn't necessarily come naturally. So we'll look at that, but the support was fantastic again, and we need them now. We need to get a really big crowd in next Saturday at Pendarren Park. We need everybody to come out and get behind us, and we need to start again 3 o'clock next Saturday, and let's go after it together with the supporters, players and staff all as one.
Brilliant, thanks Paul.
Cheers, Jack.